Hello all, this is Ravina Jyoti Dolly from the Department of ECE, Karunya University. We'll be discussing about static functions. Okay, now static data. Normally static data is declared inside the class and defined outside the class. It will act as a global data. Static member function can access only static data, but a normal member function can access all the data that is present in the class. Now normally a normal member function, how would you access from the int main? You will access it with the object and the dot operator. But here if it is a static function, it is accessed using a class name and the scope resolution operator. Okay, we'll see some programs related to static data now. Now this is a normal data, normal class data. So now you have int main, your compiler comes first here, sees the class name FOO and continues with its object F1. Once the object is created, the constructor is called automatically. Do you have a constructor in your class? Yes, you have a constructor which is named as FOO, which is same as that of the class name. Now this is your constructor. It gets inside, it sees the variable count. Okay, now it is being defined outside, that count value is 0. So now when it comes here, it automatically increments. So your F1 will have the value 1. Okay, so now F2, once the object is created, constructor is called automatically, so it again goes to the constructor. Now it sees count, and count is initialized to 0. So now it is being incremented. So what will be the object F2 count value? It will also be 1. Okay, now this is also an object F3. Once the object is created, constructor is called automatically. It sees count integer, and count value is 0. It comes here count plus plus, so automatically it will be 1. So F3, the count value becomes 1. Now cout, counters, F1 dot get count. So where is your get count? It is here, but you are calling for which object? F1. So now what will be the value for count? Return count, it will have the value 1. So 1 will be returned. Now cout, counters, F2 dot get count. So F2, you are calling get count function for F2 object. Return count, what is the value? Again 1. Now F3 dot get count. F3, it is an object calling the get count function. Return count, so for which object? F3, the count value is again 1. So in all these cases the count value is 1, 1, 1. So now this is a normal class data. Suppose the same program, if you are using static class data, you will use a keyword which is called static in front of int count. Only change that you would make is static here. Okay, so now here coming to your int main FOO F1, again it comes to your count, your constructor, and it sees count, but it checks that it is a static data. So if it is a static data, you can see this count becomes common to all objects F1, F2 as well as your F3. So for all these objects, this particular variable count acts common. Okay, now F1. So when the object is created, this is called automatically, count value is 0. Now it is incremented to 1. So globally this count value will automatically be incremented to 1 now. Now again F2. So F2, once the object is created, constructor is called automatically, it comes over here. Now what was the value for count? 1. So now it will be incremented to 2. So now again F3. So earlier the count value was 2. So now you are calling F3, again constructor will be called. So now what will be the value of count? Count value becomes 3. So now here the count variable, it is common to F1, F2 as well as F3. In the previous cases, if it is a normal data, it is a separate data for F1, separate data for F2, separate data for F3. But if you are using static, it it is common to all the objects. Okay, so now f1 dot get count, the answer is 3. f2 dot get count, the answer is 3. f3 dot get count, the answer is 3. So the output would be 3, 3, 3. Okay, hope you understood the difference between a normal data and a static data. Okay, now entering into a static function. So now this is a static example for static function where you have a static data called total and a normal data called id. You have a static function show total. Now you should remember one thing, static function can access only static data. So inside the static function you can access only the data called total because that is a static data. Inside the static function, if I am trying to access id, it becomes entirely wrong. So a static function can access only static data, but this is a normal member function. This can access both the static data as well as the normal data. So a normal member function can access both data. Okay, now coming to your main program, gamma is the class name and G1 is the object. It searches for a constructor. You have a constructor here. Okay, now total being a static data, it would have been declared here but defined somewhere outside. So it is defined outside. So total value is 0. Okay, now total is incremented. Now it is 1. So here you can see the total variable is common to all the objects G1, G2 and G3. Why? Because this is a static data. It is common to all the objects. You can see id separate for G1, id value separate for G2, id value separate for G3. Why? Because it is a normal data. Okay, so now here the total value is incremented to 1. That 1 value is stored in id. So for G1 the id value is 1. Now I am calling the show total function. Show total is a static function. So how do I call? With a class name and a scope resolution operator, the function name. Once I call this, it automatically goes to the show total function. So now it will display total is total. What is the value of total? 1. So that will be printed. Now coming to the next one, gamma. Gamma is the class name. G2. What is G2? G2 is the object. So once the object is created, constructor is called automatically. Total plus plus. What is the value of total now? Earlier it was 1, now it becomes 2. Now this is called for G2. So now total id will be equal to total. So what will be the value of id now? 2. For which object? G2. For G2 the id value becomes 2 and the total will also be 2. Okay. Now G3. So G3, again the total was earlier 2, so it becomes 3 now. So now id value will also be 3 now. Okay, for G3 object. Now gamma show total. Being a static function, you can access it with a class name and a scope resolution operator. So show total is called. Now see how total is. Total, what is the last value of total? Total was 3. So total is 3. Okay. Now after this it comes to G1 dot show id. There is show id? Yes. Now this is called for G1 object. id number is id. What is the id number for G1? 1. So 1 will be displayed first. Now coming to the next, G2 dot show id. Now again it shows the id for G2. What is the value? 2. Now G3 dot show id. Now it comes to show id for G3 object. Now id number is id. What is id value? 3. So now 1, 2, 3 will be displayed and then end of the program. So this will be your output. Total is 1, total is 3, id number is 1, id number is 2, id number is 3, end of the program. Okay. Now at last what happens is you have a destructor here. it is same as that of the class name, but it is followed with a tilde symbol. So now inside that you see destroying id number id. What is the present value of id? The last, what is the purpose of the destructor? Whatever is being created by the constructor will be destroyed. So first it destroys G3. So now what is the value? 3 will be destroyed, and then again it goes to constructor G2, object G2. So now it will destroy the value of id. Now it goes to G1, it destroys the value of id. So 3, 2, 1 it will display in your output. In such a manner destructor works. So this is the total output of your program for static function. Hope you understood static function and static data. Few things to remember is static data can be accessed. Static function can access only static data. Normal member function can access both the normal data and the static data. How do you call the static function? Using a class name and a scope resolution operator. Okay, thank you so much.